You're listening to Well, I Laughed, part 2 of Man's Best Friend. Hold my beer. Hey girl, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, I'm very tired. There's a lot happening in my life right now, but I'm excited about it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to Boston in 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that trip I wasn't invited on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it did just kind of come down to economics.
No, I'm just going to give you shit every time that it happens.
Okay.
And then complain every time you invite me places.
Would you forgive me if I give you some pretty scolding hot tea off air later on about my world?
Yes.
Okay.
Deeply, yes.
Well, hey, I'm glad we were able to reach a compromise.
Hey, if you're new here, my name is Maya.
And I'm Grant.
And we host this podcast that's about some random things, and Grant's turn to tell a story. If you want to skip our little chit-chat session, literally no hate, there's a chapter function, and you can skip right on ahead.
The chapter function actually exists kind of solely so you can skip right on ahead.
Basically just for you. So see you there if you don't want this.
I have a great time naming my chapters. So
yeah, I think we both do.
One of my chapters tonight is titled, Am I Better Than You? Yes, but in more words.
That's such a long title.
No, I know, but I was at work and I kind of overwhelmed and I was like, what? Yeah, I gotcha. Speaking of scolding hot tea, Maya, what do we have with us here today?
We have a little box from our friend who sends us some bloke tea. And I am just obsessed. Every single time the tea smells so good and it's just incredible. This listener has reached out and been like, please don't send thank you gifts because I'm going to send tea often. And so I think they wanted to remain anonymous. I'm not actually sure, but Grant's going to start smelling.
But you definitely know who you are.
Yeah.
And you should also know the depths of our love and appreciation.
Yeah. Oh, it's us at Sushi. And yes, feel free to use my name. I love everything that you guys do for the podcast. I've been here from the start. When you come back to NYC, hit me up because there are some amazing restaurants that I want to recommend. Love you guys, A.
It's gorgeous handwriting.
He has really good. He does like little illustrations too. Honestly, his Instagram is very aesthetically pleasing.
I love smelling these teas, and it's actually helped me become a tea
Connoisseur.
Drinker. I'm definitely not a connoisseur. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that one's...
But that one's kind of spicy,
Yeah.
Like savory in a way tea can be sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't pronounce the name.
No, it's French. So anyways, if you guys are in need of tea, check the locale.
This is fantastic content, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Fun. All right. So I recently started seeing somebody, and so I'm like, here's like the podcast, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And last time we recorded, we went on our little intermission, and I was like, oh, it's so great. Maya usually gives me like a little Baby Bell cheese at our intermissions.
Did she like that?
Right. Did who like that?
Your partner. Did she like that?
He's great. Yeah, no.
You're gay!
Okay, so we really are just reintroducing ourselves to the whole listener base. I love that. That's good. Yeah. No, he asked me, do I like eating those gross ass cheeses? And I said, you're not supposed to eat the wax, right? So just so you know, a couple episodes ago, I said intimacy scares me, but intimidation is my love language. And turns out, even when I really do like a person, that's still true. So, same old Grant, kind of. Long story short, I was right, and I'm hilarious.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of me, too. But that's pretty universal.
What?
I have another just absolutely like cahoots crazy story to share you from a completely different part of my life.
Okay. I was just going to tell. So we also had a listener send us in some bingo cards that our patrons are doing.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting because they wrote little, like some of our quotes on the side. And it's so fun that you can just tell exactly what Grant said, even before you get to the part of the quote that says who said it. Like I would read it and Grant was like, yeah, that was me. There was some truly... I don't know shit about fuck. What?
I don't give a fuck about economic insecurity. I was in the middle of a sentence.
It's like Like, there's no way I would have said that. I can't come up with those words on the fly.
No. And
Hey!
that's not good that I'm just saying stuff like that.
I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's why I have a show with you.
I do too.
Yeah.
Love it. And have a show with you too. So I'm at work today, right?
Yeah.
And I walk into the room next to mine, which has the printer, and that's why I'm in that room. And the room next to mine is also the like theater tech room, his classroom. So I walk into that class all the time.
Yeah.
Me and homie, give me a name.
Jeff.
Me and Jeff, we're tight, right? We're joking around. I walk in. He's in the middle of addressing his class. Crazy. I rarely see Jeff teach. And he's like, he's here, everybody. Give him a round of applause. And like he gets all the freshmen to clap. And he like comes up and he like grabs me and like kind of brings me to in front of his class. And he goes, you had something you wanted to tell them, right? And I go, yes, thank you so much. I appreciate this. How do you live like this? I don't know if you're supposed to put honey in the sunlight, but you have for the last 3 days. And I'm worried. And everyone's like, whatever. And Jeff's like, all right, you and I'm like,
get out of here.
It's toxic masculinity, but in a good way.
Sure.
Contagious masculinity. So I'm now over at the printer probably. And, like beep, bop, boop, beep. Like I'm in a big school district. So you have to do like 800 passcodes before it's like a paper at a school. Who are you?
Two-factor authentication.
Yes, better brought your phone. Duo's going to ask you a question now. Oh, you wanted to print off an accommodation? Duo's going to ask you a question now.
What's a prime number?
I don't know that. And so I'm, R2D2ing it over at the printer. And then I just kind of like my gaze drifts slightly to the left. And the theater department at school this spring is doing Mamma Mia.
Right.
And so it doesn't make any sense to me when I look to the left and see 4 plugged in waffle irons. So I
Was Lydia there?
pivot, right? So I pivot on my heels and I look at the seniors who are absolutely just obsessed with what's going on. And I go, hey, sorry, it's been a second since I've seen Mamma Mia. Did they add waffle irons? Yeah. And they were like, well, and they're trying to be funny and they're like not funny at all.
No.
But we love them still.
Yeah.
And then Jeff spins around and he goes, well, first off, they're panini presses.
My God, Jeff, I'm sorry.
Right. And I'm like, what?
That actually didn't help me at all.
And it got us kind of deeper into the woods here. And Jeff goes, yeah, well, like when they're at the school at night building sets, and it's time to break for like snack. It's hard to get them all in if you just have like one. And I'm like,
what?
Are you doing paninis as your guys' like break snack? You should just be opening a box of Uncrustables.
Yeah, what the hell kind of investment is that? What school is this?
And then I'm like, second, why would you send the entire staff to their snack break at once? You release them in groups so that way you can cheat every one of time. And he goes, well, no, the real issue is that none of the kids know how to work a panini press. You should see these sandwiches. They're squished together. And I'm like, are you pushing down on it?
Another reason not to be using the panini press, Jeff.
And then I'm like, and that's how you can tell that this generation was not raised on George Foreman grills the way the rest of us were.
Or watch The Office.
To let it rest on top of the meat, not push down on it.
Not squeeze the juices out of it.
Yeah, so anyways, now I'm 7 minutes into a class that's not mine. And I'm like, I got to go back to my co-teacher and like the 50 kids I have over there. This was cool.
I love that. We have just such different work experiences all the time.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, today I was sitting in my office and I see the like site manager walk out from the office next to mine holding a huge fucking pipe. And I hear something bang and I don't know what I think the pipe maybe hit the door, but I was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? And it was already a tense day on site. There's stuff going on. So I was like, Jesus, he's mad. And then give me a random man name.
Jeff. I'm kidding. Sorry.
Jeff.
Mark.
Okay. Mark has this like pipe. It's like a T. So there's like a straight portion and then a portion that comes out. And he starts just like banging around, and he has like a wire, and he's like making the most awful noise because the wire, he's like trying to push it into the pipe and it's scraping against the pipe. And
in many ways, I've had this exact experience at school, so I'm waiting for it to divert.
one of my coworkers that is in my office isn't doing anything. I was on a meeting. And so she is like, Mark, do you need any help? And like kind of rushes out of the office to like go help him. And Mark's like, how small are your hands? And my coworker, what's a random female name?
Jennifer
Just goes, I guess pretty small. And she walks up. The pipe is like this big around. It's like an inch diameter.
Quick, do you have the hands of a 4-year-old?
And she was like, okay, my hands aren't that small.
She's playing with her bracelet. I've
Yeah.
always been weird about my wrists.
And then another coworker who was visiting the trailer walks over, and then they just kept going, and I wasn't really needed on this meeting, so I just like in the chat was like NTD need to drop, and then exited the meeting and then walked out. I was like, what the hell is going on here? And they're like, do you happen to have like any like small like metal ball or something like that? You bet your ass I did. It wasn't this exact one. It was one of my fidgets, one of the magnetic balls, and I give it to him, and he's like, how much do you care about this? And I was like, I mean, like, it's fine. And he was like, okay, and he drops it in. Apparently a piece of water-soluble plastic had gotten stuck in the, like, T part of the pipe, and so he had been trying to get it out into the long straight section of the pipe so he could push it out and like grab it and get it. So he has this ball and then a huge wire that he's shoving into the ball to push, and there's a bend in
He's
the
going
thing.
all musket loading.
It was crazy. And now there's me, my coworker, and Jennifer all just watching. And then more engineers are coming out. All of these people are engineers by degree, by the way. And so he's pushing this thing. No one's helping him, by the way. We're all just watching in our managerial roles. And then we get another ball, and it takes like forever. And we finally get this little wadded piece of plastic out. And we're like, so why did you have to get it out? And he was like, oh, so-and-so didn't believe that it was water soluble, so we needed to prove it to her.
I don't. Is the pipe full of water?
The pipe will be full of water eventually. That's why the plastic is water soluble, so you can rinse it out without having to do what we just did. And he was
Okay.
like, so-and-so had a piece of it and then dissolved it, but the person who was curious wasn't around, so we needed to get this out. We had spent 30 minutes. I was like, you could have told us this at the beginning and all of us would have been like, this is stupid.
I would have stayed on the media.
So anyway, that's how I spent the last 30 minutes of my day.
Nice.
Yeah.
So on the topic of like how silly our jobs are.
Yeah.
Debate coach. So I was at a debate tournament yesterday after school.
You're gay?
Don't tell my mom, okay?
That might be my new
She
favorite
listens.
bit.
No, she listens.
She does, yeah. Hey, Teresa. Love you.
So we're at a debate tournament yesterday, and my kids, one of the many things that my students do is mock Congress, which is
Right.
usually like very serious.
Yes.
This one was a character Congress where you show up as a character and then you debate from the POV of that person.
I'm suddenly realizing why this was added to the calendar so late in the game.
Yeah, why I would literally never allow this if my students hadn't found out via word of mouth and unionized,
Unionized against
demanding
you.
that we go. I was so opposed to it, I didn't offer it to our 100 freshmen. I was like, they're not getting their one tournament credit from this. Like,
That's
I'm
dumb.
not, like, you have to be able to drive yourself. I'm not requesting a bus.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to eat the judge fee. I'm not going to ask an adult to
Yeah.
sit through this. And everyone's like, this is so much fun. And I'm like, it's great.
Haha.
I love it here. They did legitimately have a good time, and that's good. Like, children's joy that should be protected in this day and age. But also at the same time, I'm a grown-ass man who could have been anywhere else that night. But instead, I was at a local school watching my children dressed up as Hermione and Eleven from Stranger Things.
You have to dress up,
you
too?
thought you thought it was like George Washington? Oh, you thought it was maybe John F. Kennedy?
No.
No.
I was imagining someone dressed up as Big Bird.
The winner of the tournament was Cher.
Wagon wheel Watusi.
No, legitimately, this child, we're going to use she, her pronouns because it's Cher, okay?
Okay.
She keeps going up there, and instead of addressing like the fake bills that were written, is just roasting people. She's like, somebody help me make pizza happen. I don't know what to do here. I'm Cher. And it like is legitimately killing, but it's like,
Honestly,
it's the academic value to this.
if it was a theater class.
Every single child is in a wig. That's the first thing you should know. I am in this cafeteria and every child is in a wig. Second, all of the female identifying students, who like identify as like female throughout the day, not necessarily
just
their
as
character.
a costume.
They are all of them are men and have painted their face like the Lin-Manuel sneaking out of a window challenge from this summer. It's just a room.
Take me back.
It's a room full of Lin-Manuel Mirandas pretending to be Marvel characters. And then they were like, judges, you get into the spirit too. One judge pretended to be asleep and then Cher grieved them. And I wasn't sure where the parody ended and the real complaint began. So anyways.
Grieved them is so funny. That's grieving them is not like grieving like they died.
Oh, right.
Grieving is like complaining to the judges about something.
They're like, I disagree. Oh, great. Sorry. If he was locked outside, I wanted to help.
Oh, so you would help him, but you wouldn't help me break into your house.
You don't need my help to break into my house. You're already breaking into my house.
I haven't done anything. I can barely open the door.
I know. I've seen it like so many times. It's sad.
It's actually really sad. I want to be able to break into your house.
I need to be able to fix that door code. Anyways, so that was work, and it was good, and it's been good, and then it gets a little bit easier the next 2 days. Also, one more thing.
Yeah.
And we might have to talk about this on Patreon too, so I can share like all of my thoughts.
Yeah.
But I've recently, for the first time in my entire life, been going to like live viewings of RuPaul's Drag Race. And as a sports gay, I hadn't realized how similar that experience it was. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't know.
It's just like a lot of times those events start at 6, and like that's just not necessarily when I'm out on a Friday.
You've been gay for how long? 20 minutes?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
you haven't found out about this?
I had some questions over lunch, but I feel like I'm like a girl will like do a bad like lyric on like a lip sync challenge, and people will literally go like, ooh, you know, and it's like, did she just fumble? And in many ways, yes.
She did, yeah.
And then like someone will like do like a death drop or like an outfit will kill, and they'll like cheer like they just scored like a touchdown. And I was like, oh, I hadn't understood. I didn't realize.
Every straight boyfriend watching Heated Rivalry realizing, oh, there's a story here.
Yeah, a little. And then I like, because I'm a little cynical, the girls will start to cry like kind of too early into the season right now. And I'll be like, boo, 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 boo.
And everyone else
no one else is
like...
booing. Everyone here is for the storytelling. It's like you not liking Downton Abbey, but watching it with me. And I'm like, you need to leave.
Fair enough.
So that's been a new experience for me. That's been good so far.
That's good. I can't think of anything else that's happened. I don't know. If I don't write things down, they immediately exit my brain the second I sit in this chair. And I have actually been so productive in podcast work the last, I was in Breckenridge for the last weekend and entirely did our new pre-roll, our mid-roll, our end roll. I animated a whole thing. I redid some logos. It was pretty crazy. I feel good about it.
Your job has been podcast lately.
My job has been podcast. My job was so podcast on Tuesday that I did so much podcast things that in my brain I separated from work things, and I thought Tuesday was 2 days. I have thought today was Thursday like so many times.
It's actually so not, and that's really sad.
It's really sad because
okay.
I keep thinking tomorrow's Friday.
Sometime around Sunday on 5 p.m., I'm going to get like a little bit of a break, and I'm like really looking forward to that.
Yeah, our schedules are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Now.
Lucky though,
Yeah.
you know.
Who are you?
Grateful. I have one more story
Grateful?
about this like change. I mean, I've always been grateful, but now I'm like big loud about it. One of my seniors was sitting at my desk and she was like, "Oh, like this is so annoying. Like I had this like speaking thing on like the Constitution and you that I had to go to this weekend, and all my friends were out of town. So like I dragged my boyfriend to it, and like he goes to so many of those things, and he's so patient. Like I'm so bad, I shouldn't keep torturing him like that. And I just was typing away on my email. This was earlier this week, and I go, I don't know, like speech and debate and like constitutional law speaking, stuff like that. Those like big parts of who you are as a person, and I bet he really enjoys getting a chance to like spend time with that part of your personality.
Mm-hmm. And if he
And
doesn't,
she put down her salad, and she goes,
I know exactly who it is.
Yeah, you do. She puts down her salad. She goes, I don't like that. I don't like are you okay? Are you going to leave us? She got left by a teacher who fell in love her freshman year and has never recovered.
I don't think she ever will,
No.
to be totally honest with you.
And she was like, what is happening to you? And I was like, oh God, I don't know.
He usused to be so cynical.
Because originally I would have been like, yeah, don't bring your pets indoors. Like no one likes that.
Suddenly he's learning emotional maturity.
Or just empathy. I don't know.
Oh. I have stories for you on Patreon. That's actually what I do have stories about.
Glad to hear it. That came in lower and softer than I thought it was going to, but I'm okay with that.
It was sexy.
Ready to jump into it?
Yeah.
Tonight's a fun one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So let's say you're at a social gathering.
Yeah.
Most importantly, you're not by yourself. And unfortunately, there are men around you. Sometimes men will say one thing specifically, that does not throw you into a rage, but instead actually excites and, dare I say, titillates you. What is that phrase? For 500 points. No, I'm kidding.
What is that?
What's the phrase a man at a party could say that would really excite you?
I have no fucking idea.
It's 3 words.
I love you. And Grant's back out.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and catch us on Patreon. That phrase is hold my beer. Okay? Anytime a man at a party has said, hold my beer, he's about to jump off something.
Or jump on something.
Correct, that he is not supposed to be jumping on. And I'm excited because it's kind of like, ooh, have you ever done a felony to yourself? Have you ever feloned your body?
And if the police or an ambulance needs to be called, I now have a second drink.
Have you ever burgled your body? Have you ever burgled yourself? Have you played yourself?
My brain does all the time. I'm clinically depressed, but yeah.
Right. Right.
I love when that comes up and Grant's like, oh shit.
I'm so sorry. This is going to be so mean to Maya and like 80% of our listeners. I do forget depression exists.
It's just,
I know
he's
it's real.
so happy all the time.
Thing. I've recently been described as a golden retriever.
Yeah.
And I've described him and you as my 2 little grumpy cats.
It's Casey and I to a T, except Casey oftentimes just wants to stay in and then I want to go out, and then I feel like we roll reverse.
Yeah. So, Maya.
Yes.
When I thought about man's best friend, for whatever reason, I thought of beer.
I thought of cheese when you were asking about what would titillate me.
Oh, I've oftentimes found the way to woo a woman is a small bit of cheese.
That's what I was going for, but then you said it's 3 words, and I said,
hold my cheese. Gross.
Hold my cheese for me.
And get it warmed up. No, thank you. I did think of beer, and admittedly, clocking it, that might have been my generational alcoholism speaking. The ancestors might have leaned in from the clouds and whispered, it's alcohol. It's alcohol. And I'm like, what a funny story for man's best friend.
I mean, it is funny.
Today, we're going to talk about alcohol.
Hell yeah.
As man's best friend.
Okay.
And specifically, a time in our history when we were separated.
From alcohol?
Because we deserved more time, which is my favorite trope. And an episode I am literally titling Hold My Beer and is about
That's good.
Prohibition.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good on so many levels.
I thought it would be a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I was like, this is kind of what I wanted to do. It's
Yeah.
something that like several of our stories have like touched the edges
Yeah,
of and
talked
moved
about it
on.
a little bit.
Yeah. And so I'm going to kind of give you like the sales pitch for those of you who are like, oh, boring. I don't want to listen to this. Okay. Prohibition is the only thing America has tried at a constitutional level and then been like, not for us, and then bounced out. You know, the same document that like guarantees your freedom of speech and declares freedom from enslavement of like all peoples. That document flip-flops on alcohol.
Yeah.
And that's funny to me. It's weird and interesting for a document that is so controversial and viewed by some people on the Supreme Court incorrectly as infallible and unchanging. It's so funny that we've changed it and then we're like, erase.
So do we have two amendments? One that like says prohibition and then one later that says never mind on
We
that
have
one?
the 18th, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about specifically what it does and does not ban.
Okay.
And then we have the 21st that's like, we were wrong.
Oh, we lasted like 2 amendments.
Yes, that's funny to
That's
me.
so funny.
It's funny that we banned it, got up to 2 other things, one of them being women's right to vote. And then we're like, hold on, go back. What was that thing we were doing?
Oh, there's so many misogynistic jokes.
I know there are. But also it means that we got men to ban alcohol. And so it's like
That
this.
is true. Yeah.
Yeah, and the end, by the way, you obviously, I mean, like, you see it coming, but in many ways, no, you don't. You're going to be shocked.
Okay,
When we
I'm
get
ready.
to the final chapter. I think you're going to really like
Okay.
it.
I'm excited.
So, I'm going to start off with just a question for you,
Yeah.
okay? A fun little hypothesizing question, okay?
Okay.
We get a spaceship, we put like 150 people on it, and we send it to a planet ready to be inhabited, Earth 2, okay?
Okay.
In 100 years, what does their society look like?
Like in terms of what?
Is it a carbon copy of American culture? Is it somewhere else? Like, what does that society
How many
look like?
people are there?
150, and then after 100 years, they've had children. So let's say there's like 1,000 people.
I feel like they want to make it like a U.S. city. I'm assuming a democracy. I'm assuming they have a vote. I mean, there's a chance there's a dictator among them that gets up to something. But I imagine it would end up like a rural town.
Okay. Do you think there are any things they would want to take with them or like leave in terms of like cultural pillars? Like anything they'd be like, oh, like we love Thanksgiving, but we hate the 4th of July. Like, is there anything kind of culturally that they would want to touch on?
Are they Americans?
That's the question I'm trying to get us to.
Okay.
What this society would look like is super based off of
Where
the
they come
individuals you've put on the
Yeah.
spaceship and their relationship with their home.
Yeah.
So like the country we would create on Earth too.
Yeah.
Like,
Universal healthcare, universal education.
no guns.
Yeah.
Very different than what
Yeah.
other people will create.
Yep.
So this is obviously a hypothetical, and also the real life version super clear and easy.
If you need something to do, draw up your hypothetical town and then send it to us.
I would actually love
Yeah,
that.
that would be so
I
cute.
don't want to link to The Sims, just to be clear.
That's actually good.
Cannot do the assignment online. So obviously, like the real life example that I'm referring to is the Americas,
Yeah.
specifically at the start of colonization. Before I kind of jump into the details of this chapter, chapter 1, the early days of advocacy for prohibition, I want to name just at the top that like this cultural engineering happens on a land that did have societies with cultures and expectations and values, and a massive organized and intentional genocide against the indigenous people of the Americas sought to create the blank slate that these European colonizers then tried to rebuild society on. So I'm just clocking that from the start. But these people do come to the United States with real questions about like, what do I want to take and what do I want to leave behind? And for the Puritans and those who follow them up north specifically,
Right.
what they are seeking is a change of scenery from too liberal England to a more conservative, more proper, more adherent to a religious belief system of living. And so they'll come to the United States with this like grab bag of things that's centered largely around their own religious practices. And that's already going to be different in New England, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts from people in Virginia and South Carolina.
Right. Yeah.
The people that move there are like, I want to get rich. I'm looking forward to making money. I'm the only one in my family that has moved here. I'm maybe the second born son who will inherit nothing.
Do the people that move to the north and to the south, are they technically like from the same areas geographically? Okay.
Depends on how big you want to make that region. But the Puritans up north, those are English people, okay, from specific communities. Up north, you'd oftentimes see whole like neighborhoods moved together.
Right.
And so it's children and grandpa, right? Like it's everyone is going together.
Okay.
In the mid-Atlantic and South, it is I'm a second born son, oftentimes from like London, who's going to move solo by myself to try to make money. And then there's going to be some women that follow along because they kind of get like hired to go.
Right.
And then you're going to create a society there. But it's not based on this very different reasons. And so the first moments of prohibition you will see are from the deeply religious communities of the North. And that's kind of interesting because it's an inverse of what we then come to understand prohibition later on and like American culture now.
Right.
Up north in the early days is the more religious part of America.
That's wild.
Here's how religious they are up north. They don't celebrate Christmas.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember that.
They have a single day of Thanksgiving, which is largely like a day of gratitude and where we get the word Thanksgiving from.
Right.
But they like view basically anything else as excessive and an affront to God. And so
Grant could literally never. Grant loves a reason to celebrate.
I love being affront to God.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing. I'm gay. And I'm in on it. And I'm in on it.
I thought I would see you in heaven, but I guess not.
I have to go call my pastor,
I don't know
who
what
is
to
a
do.
Puritan in Maine.
Yeah.
This is important. We're still in the story, okay? Have I said everything I wanted to say? I think so. Yeah.
I missed this part of Grant's storytelling.
Or I just get so comfortable and I'm like, this is so fun for me. And then I'm
I
like,
love it.
okay, facts and details. Facts
shit.
and details. Okay, this is fun. I'm going to have you read a little box. I started to pick up some of your tricks. In the early days, small communities would ban alcohol on their own. And what you're going to see throughout this entire story is when we say ban alcohol, there's like 5 asterisks attached behind it.
Right.
Because some are like, you just can't be drunk in public. Some are like, you just can't have hard liquor, beer and wine. Totally fine. Some are like absolutely no alcohol except for the hardworking men 1 hour at dinner. And it's like, how are you regulating that?
That's all
you
just
know?
wild rules.
Correct. And these communities are still so small enough, so insular, so homogenous, right? That like the community policing's happening. They're all kind of in agreement. I mean, obviously there's dissent, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these early days of Prohibition are kind of like excitedly sought after by certain people. And then their town gets connected. Strangers come in. Traders set up shop.
Right.
They're drunk. It ends. Please,
Wow, that was so succinct.
Please, thank you.
Yeah.
Please enjoy the box.
It's a beautiful box.
Thanks.
The best box that ever made. A big, strong,
Made it myself.
big box, strong box came up to me, tears streaming down his face. Have you heard
Is this
that?
a Coldplay song?
No. It's the way Seth Meyers always does his Donald Trump impression. He's like a big pig, a strong pig, tears coming down his face.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
On March 26th, 1636, the legislature of New Somersetshire met at what is now Saco, Maine, and adopted a law limiting the sale of, quote, strong liquor or wine, spelled W-Y-N-E, end quote. Although carving out exceptions for lodgers and allowing serving to, quote, laborers on working days for 1 hour at dinner. Hour spelled H-O-W-E-R.
Thank you for hitting
I
the
love
part
this.
that I wanted you to read out loud, which is like crazy.
This is all
All
wild.
of these spellings are wrong.
Wrong. Yeah, you should stop drinking.
Now they really freestyle in the next part.
Okay. In May 1657, no spoilers, please, the General Court of Massachusetts made the sale of strong liquor, quote, whether known with an E at the end, whether known by name of rum, strong waters, wine, strong beer, also with an E at the end, brandy, spelled with an I-E, cider, spelled S-Y-D-E-R, or Purry, P-E-U-R-R-Y, or any other strong liquors to the Native Americans illegal.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I did not see that coming.
Listen, when it comes to ancient texts, don't ever be afraid to see just a crazy racist punch come out of nowhere.
Whoa.
Now, looking at this list, especially that
Yes.
towards the end, which one do you think is my drag name?
Oh, the misspellings.
Yeah, which of this misspellings is my drag name?
I like cider.
That's crazy. You were supposed to say Strong Waters, and then I was going to go, actually, it's Brandy.
Brandy was my second one.
Which is an actual woman's name.
Yeah, it's literally B-R-A-N-D-I-E. That
okay.
was wild.
So early days, there's some kind of initial prohibition. You're not seeing necessarily massive like countywide or like statewide things by any means, but like local communities, local congregations will ban it, right? And there's also kind of this like soft way of governing this, which is not necessarily banning it, but not allowing the sale of it either, right? Like these communities are so local that like they can decide to not allow like an alcohol salesman or like the shopkeeper's probably going to live in town. So if the town doesn't support the sale of alcohol, the shopkeeper's not going to sell it. And then, you know, you're a traveler passing through, the shop doesn't have alcohol because no one here is going to buy it and I don't want to piss them off, you know? Like, so you have kind of these earlier adoptions, but nothing massive on a wide scale. And then towards the end of the 1700s, so America has just become like a country. Benjamin Rush, one of the foremost physicians of the late 18th century, so again, late 1700s, America is now a country, believed in moderation rather than prohibition. In his work, The Inquiry into the Effects of Ardent Spirits upon the Human Body and Mind, 1784, Dr. Benjamin Rush argued that the excessive use of alcohol was injurious to physical and psychological health, labeling drunkenness as a disease, which is a gentle reminder that our understanding of alcoholism as a disease and not a moral failure is something that we have been discussing for 250 years. Benjamin Rush's work will help kind of add a scientific credit to a prohibition movement that will actually only use the cudgel of morality police to try to force people to stop drinking.
The same shit as what I can't remember the name of the pseudoscience where they like study the shape of the skull, but it was literally just used to
eugenics.
Yeah, eugenics. Yeah, it's the same shit.
So Benjamin Rush is like, I'm pretty sure drinking alcohol for you isn't good. Like, I don't.
What gave you that?
I don't think we're all supposed to be vomiting this much. And we're going to say this a couple of times, but Americans in the 1830s, which is 40 years after Rush's work, Americans in the 1830s are drinking 1.7 bottles of hard liquor every week.
What?
Which is 3 times the amount Americans were drinking in 2010. And drinking rates have actually declined since then because the millennials have gotten older.
And other things are legal now.
Right. And the younger generations are weak. No, I'm kidding. There is actually one study that suggests that one of the reasons why drinking amongst young people has gone down is because phones are just so entertaining. You don't need to go to parties anymore.
That's so sad.
Correct. It was not a positive report on younger people. Obviously, always drink in moderation. We're not like, if you want to party with us, you got to drink, right? But it's like social isolation's an issue.
I mean, be careful if you're Grant's friend. He is a bully at heart.
You can just say fun.
All of the gays that I know are just kind of bullies.
And so after the publishing of Benjamin Rush's work in the 1780s, you're going to see a bunch of what we would call temperance organizations start to emerge. What's also really, really interesting, though, is, now stay with me now for this sentence, the way the American Revolution, the Declaration of Independence, and the U.S. Constitution created a political landscape that allowed women to advocate for prohibition is crazy.
Say that whole thing again.
The way the American Revolution, Declaration of Independence,
Right.
and then U.S. Constitution,
Yeah.
created a political landscape
Right.
to allow women to advocate for prohibition
That's
is crazy.
wild.
Because what the U.S. Constitution and the whole revolution does is it opens up the idea to the American mind of country building as a personal pet project. Because
Right.
the Constitution is just this giant, in retrospect, horrific
Yeah.
compromise.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are a lot of unresolved things in that document. Slavery, women's rights to vote, all sorts of things.
Right.
That creates this world where like advocacy for governmental reform is viewed as patriotic, something we've kind of gotten away from a little bit. So what you actually see happening is temperance movements are popping up
right.
alongside abolitionist movements and women's suffrage movements.
Right.
In fact, churches oftentimes sponsor all three organizations, as all three seek to like and continue to improve upon the American experiment.
Right.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
That's just, you wish we could do it now, right? Like,
The way the American Constitution creates a world that it ultimately produces some of our favorite cocktails, and I'm going to get to that later on too, is a connection I can draw. It's a connection I can draw, and I'm going to do it for you.
please,
Facts and details.
back to the notes.
Okay, so these temperance leagues first emerge in the Northeast, Connecticut, New York. They extend elsewhere. They're surrounded in this like deeply kind of Anglican, Protestant, like religious movement up north specifically, and those churches hold it. Now we're going to talk about chapter 2. Am I better than you? Yes. The word is temperance.
Oh, okay.
Alcohol became to represent the physical manifestation of evil and wickedness in American society. A society that was, for better and worse, unique, dynamic, and different than the European counterparts they compared it to. The idea of France ever banning wine. The idea of Germany ever banning beer, right? Scotland banning beer, England banning strong drink is ridiculous beyond belief. But the United States, especially during this era, feels unfinished to a lot of people, and the advocacy doesn't seem all that strange. So, any of these social issues that you believe you can fix, because we've already fixed governmental power, right? So, like, plus 30 seconds for descriptions of the crimes mostly men commit. Murder. Domestic abuse,
Right.
child abandonment, right? Public drunkenness or public laziness, which is unemployed battling alcoholism, as we understand today.
Yeah.
All of these are, that's alcohol. That's alcohol. And if we could just get rid of alcohol in this country, you wouldn't have
We don't have
orphaned
any bad people. We
No.
just have
alcohol.
Yeah.
And if we can get rid of that,
People don't beat their wife. Alcohol beats their wife.
right. And the funny thing about this advocacy is the line it rides alongside the truth.
Right.
They are right.
Yeah.
That like drunk men do commit domestic violence. Maybe not necessarily just because they're drunk.
It's a
though.
rectangle in a square situation.
Yeah, 100% that. Where it's like you are absolutely connecting these pieces together.
Yeah.
You're speaking about how it's bad for the moral health of this country.
Yeah.
You also have Dr. Benjamin Rush and other people's work saying it's also bad for your physical health.
Right.
We have the ability to ban it. Let's stop this from happening. So these leagues emerge everywhere. But obviously, America's a big country. There's a lot of different people with attitudes around prohibition. And you're going to see advocates emerge from two distinct groups of people. You're going to see people who live in the rural communities start to advocate for prohibition, and you're going to see wealthy middle-class women start to advocate for it. First, rural communities. Much of rural social life is performed intentionally. I'm going to come down and I'm going to go to the big dance tonight, or we're going to go to the festival or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like moments that you are choosing and you are aware of where you are kind of public. Otherwise, you're completely isolated on your farm. Sometimes for months at a time.
Yeah.
So in rural communities, public drunkenness is shocking.
Right.
Because you could do that at home. Thank you for laughing to remind myself this is a comedy podcast and I shouldn't take myself so seriously.
Jerry, put down the beer. We have alcoholism at home.
We have family embarrassment and generational trauma at the house, okay? Get in.
You promised you would do that performance for our 2-year-old
We're
again.
here to listen to the women's choir.
Yeah.
They're not good, but we're all here together, okay? It's the annual,
Embarrass me at home,
right?
please.
It's the annual Grange Festival, right? But
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
way, rural life is performative in only a handful of like really clear
Yeah,
moments.
yeah.
It's also why you kind of even today see rural communities hold their own fellow community members to harsher standards for
Right.
behavior they themselves engage in. I'm allowed to say I come from these people, okay?
He's gay.
But you know what I mean? It's like that rumor of like the woman, the hairdresser who's on her third marriage, talking to you
Right.
about the neighbor who's cheating on her husband, right? Like
Yeah.
you are policing the behavior you are doing at home because in rural life, this behavior is unacceptable when it's in public because
Yeah.
you're actually so rarely in public.
Mm-hmm.
Compare that to almost a bang down, flip it, and reverse it Fergie situation.
New York's motto is mind your business.
Yeah, New York's motto is mind your business and the city is my living room,
Yeah.
right? Most of these people in urban places, especially like the working poor, don't have privacy at home.
Mm-hmm.
The people at home are literally like sharing their bed or
Yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah.
Out in public is actually more private,
Mm-hmm.
right? I might not be around my wife and children. I might be with my homies. There's a reason why cities have all men's clubs, right? There's a reason
Yeah.
why there were women's social groups like in the cities. And so in this way, outside of the home can be more private for urban workers. But at the same time, that means people are watching you.
Yeah.
And so public drunkenness isn't scandalous. I mean, it is, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's scandalous like in a very much different way.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
In fact, like to bar hop is an urban thing, right? Or like to have a place where you go after work to get a drink or whatever is actually
That someone else serves you.
right. But that's actually so common because a lot of these urban places don't have even the ability to like make food at
Yeah,
home. Like
right,
there isn't a
right.
kitchen. Maybe there's like some bread and stuff, but if
Yeah.
you want like a soup,
Yeah, you're
you're going to go
somewhere.
to the pub down
Yeah.
where they have the
Downstairs.
kitchen,
Yeah.
right? Where they can cook it on kind of like a mass scale so it's more economical so you have access to
Yeah.
it. And you're going to get a beer.
Yeah.
So that's not a huge issue.
Yeah.
The second group of people that form really strong advocates for this are middle-class women, which during
Right.
this era is almost exclusively middle-class white women, specifically urban and near-urban communities. They have, I believe, the worst existence in I'm going to couch that. I was going to say American history, and then my brain thought of literally a million examples. So then I'm walking it all the way back to the start.
Things Grant can't say as a white bald man.
There are definitely experiences
That
I
are
would
worse,
never
yes.
that are worse that I would never want.
This was a bad one.
I would not want to be a woman in this position because of the unique trap society sets for her.
Yeah. Okay.
Working class women get to leave home because they have to leave home because they
work.
have to go work.
Yeah.
But that means they have like a commute, they're walking, they have coworkers, they're talking
Right.
to people,
Yeah.
right? You have an income you can legitimately claim as yours, even if it's immediately going to somebody else.
Right.
You are part of a larger world and you have work that you do
And you
that you
see
can
a
be
lot
really
more.
proud of. Right. Exactly.
Mm.
For working class women, there's a freedom in that poverty that they are desperately trying to escape, but in the ways it forms your perspective on like class and politics,
Right.
they're out in the community. On the other end of that spectrum, you have very wealthy women who run their own homes. So they're bosses. They have servants to
Right.
take. They have power.
Yeah.
Like it's not lip service power. They have
Actual power.
As
I'm
we see
just
in-
imagining the Gilded Age.
That's
I just
exactly it.
need
That's
you to
exactly-
know. Yeah.
like as we see in the Gilded Age, they are sometimes active partners in building the family's political capital. They're also hosting social events. They are joining committees.
Yeah.
There is this effort to gain even more power socially amongst people, like amongst their peers. And for those women, being able to serve 4,
Alcohol.
5, 6 different fancy bottles of wine
Is actually good
is a
for them.
status symbol in the way everything else is.
Yeah.
I have great taste. The person that buys my wine is French. We have a cellar downstairs. Doesn't it pair perfectly with the food that I'm serving you? So they like alcohol too. But it's middle class women who do not have the luxury of leaving the home, really,
Right.
to go work, but do not actually then have people to do the work at home for them. So they are cleaning. They are doing some of the child rearing.
Right.
Maybe they have like a housemaid or two, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they have like a person that like
cook or
does
something,
errands,
yeah.
right? Like it's not unusual to have like an errand boy who will help take
Yeah.
care of some of that stuff. But they don't have the freedom of working class women and they don't have the power of upper class women. What they do have is the ability to claim moral authority.
Oh.
Yeah.
We really are here just but for a moment.
And it's the same story every year.
It's the same shit every time.
Because their ability to make power and like connections for their family is deeply limited by their own husband's income, right?
Right.
So what is their role? Where do they get their power from? How do
Mm-hmm.
they make sense of their place in society and how do they make their
I'm
mark?
going to make sure that we go to church every Sunday.
Right. I'm going to lead
Yeah.
a good example for my children, which means I'm going to actually be horrific to my children.
Yep. My
I'm gonna be
children
like-
are going to need therapy but not get it because
Right.
it's the
'cause
Gilded Age.
They're going to be seen and not heard.
Yes.
And we're going to, do all of these things. And these women's lives are insanely private.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, the ability to even drink in public isn't really accessible to them, I mean, women in the upper class are not drinking in public either, but they're never in public.
So
Not
glad I
really.
watched the Gilded Age.
Thank
the,
you, right?
The temperance
Thank
movement.
you.
This is all just really, I'm literally living in that,
Right.
that show
and of
right
course,
now.
working class women are drinking. Like, of course,
Yeah.
how else do you survive the horrors?
Yeah.
No? And so what you have is rural communities, which are expanding out west and earning undue political influence because of the U.S. Senate. And so rural communities who are voting for dry was the political term, senators.
right.
And then in urban settings, you have powerfully, politically important middle-class women who are setting moral examples.
And then telling their husbands to vote
How
for.
to
yeah.
vote. Exactly.
Just like Grant and I's lavender marriage agreement.
No, 100%. And so these two coalitions are actually going to form a really powerful push and pull because they have the power of God, the power of science, and they're advocating for the downtrodden. In this case, women and children. And there's this
Always the same shit, y'all.
there's the handwriting is like in cursive and stuff,
Oh,
but this
I
is
think
a
I saw
common.
this.
Yeah, it's the bridge to alcoholism and death.
I think I saw this when I was researching Michael Malloy.
Yeah. The very first one is like a simple glass with friends, and it ends in death. And over the bridge that this man carries is
it's
a
a
grieving woman.
Woman and a child.
My favorite is at the top of the pyramid is the best party you've ever seen.
Yeah, the
That's
summit
not
attained.
Right. It's not the exact words, but that person looks so happy and they're like, it's all downhill from
It
there.
literally does. Step 5, the summit attained, jolly companions, a confirmed drunkard. So someone that looks like they're having a good time, they're actually so
They're
drunk.
actually on the road to ruin. All those cool people you see,
Yeah.
they're on the road to ruin.
Yeah.
This reminds me specifically of the anti-pot commercial in like 2005 of a person walking in and it's like a regular teenager and a deflated teenager on the couch.
I remember
You know
this.
what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
yeah.
And it's like, she used to be fun. Now she just kind of like lays there and they're like, don't do pot. Don't do it. Ye will deflate. And that's what this is. Because the
Sometimes I do
story's
feel like
the
I deflate.
because the story's the same every year.
Yeah.
People without deeper meaning in their lives finding things to police your morality on.
Yes.
And
Just
then
mind your
trying to-
business.
yeah, mind your business. And I say that in New York.
Yes.
This kind of advocacy often fell in the same sphere as other movements, like women's suffrage and the abolition of slavery. All three movements looked to engage in social engineering, while we look very favorably on abolition and women's suffrage.
Right.
We obviously don't praise prohibition as much. But like, and this is what's so interesting too about prohibition, the world that existed before prohibition doesn't really exist anymore. Like you could argue,
Right.
despite how flawed the advocacy was or how controversial and perhaps failed the amendment was,
Right.
America is a different country after prohibition than it is before.
Remind me the Prohibition years.
1920 to 1933.
Wow, it's a lot later than I was imagining.
Yes. Yes.
I was like, when was the Industrial Revolution? Like, did that? That's wild.
100 years ago, alcohol was banned.
No, I can't do that.
No,
right
that's
now.
what I'm saying.
That's
I'm like, you think you know the story,
wild.
but you like you never like sat with it.
I do think I remember that the 1920s were crazy because Gatsby. But sorry, say the years again.
1920 to 1933. You're onto it, girl.
Yeah,
You're
that's
onto it.
yeah. Because of this, that's yeah.
Ernest Hemingway has to flee the country because of Prohibition, which,
Does he?
oh yeah, 100%.
He's like, I'm so drunk.
He literally moves his ass to Cuba, which we're also going to talk about. I'm very excited to talk about Cuba. So, like, America as a country legitimately maybe did have a drinking problem during the time.
Yeah.
The thing about a dynamic society is that, like, the old ways don't exist anymore. And that's good and bad.
Yeah.
Like, drinking is causing fights.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking is causing family abandonment.
Yeah.
Drinking is, for many Americans, and let me know if this sounds familiar or not, the only access to mental health care that they have. You know what I mean? During a time in which to be really almost anybody in America is kind of horrific, right? One of my favorite historians, or Dan Carlin, who's not a historian but a fan of historians, and I love his podcasts, talks about how he wonders if the modern brain could comprehend what people in like ancient Greece saw every day, right? Like how a broken bone can be a death sentence, like how absolutely intentionally graphic the executions were, how horrific violence was, right? Like he wonders out loud, like if the modern brain, if you took a child born in 2026 and raised it in Greece, if the brain's even structured in a way that it could comprehend the violence that it sees. I think that's a really interesting thing to think about.
Yeah.
And I don't think you need to go back that far. I think you could take a child from 2026 and put him in like 1880 America, and I think they would navigate. I think they would like struggle. I don't think all of those struggles are super far removed from right now, but like if you are a child, you are working. You are surrounded constantly by lead. Political violence in the name of like the machine is there.
Right.
Racial violence is rampant.
Everywhere.
Misogyny, violence against women, rampant, right? Faith in our like leaders and justice systems, like deeply diminished. And then in your moral capitals, in your churches, of course there's abuses of power.
Right.
We have so much documentation now about the abuses of power. There's some great stuff happening too. Obviously, like the human spirit endures. I mean, it does.
So anyway.
But also
about
Americans
Jesus.
drank 3 times as much back then.
Yeah.
You got home from work, your body is aching all over because you've been working since you were a child.
And the only thing to do is drink.
I'd actually even argue, even if you have like a pretty cushy job, your life is so filled with like tedium and work. It's like that story I told a couple of episodes ago. Imagine making soap. Imagine the process of just trying to make soap, let alone anything else. Like your body's just tired.
Yeah.
So they're drunk all the time and hitting people and running away and changing their names and moving to a new town, right?
Yikes.
Part of me wonders if America would have the Wild West if it didn't have a drinking problem, right?
That's actually phenomenal point.
I mean, because what are those men? What are those men?
They're always with a flask.
Correct.
Like, I feel like they lived off of whiskey.
Right.
Yeah.
Could we actually maybe argue that many of them just rotted their teeth out with alcohol and not with like the limited provisions that they were provided?
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't remember bread doing that to your mouth. I do think whiskey would probably have something to say though.
Yeah, probably.
You know? So it's hard for us to evaluate the legacy of Prohibition because that world just does not exist anymore.
There's no way we could even try.
No.
Yeah.
So I wanted to add that like tiny little note as we wrap up this specific chapter. So you get the American Temperance Society, which is founded in 1822, and the Women's Christian Temperance Union.
Oof.
We don't have enough unions or leagues, I'm saying.
We need the league.
And the WCTU is founded in like the 1870s. So they are founded around the time of abolition. They are founded in the time of Susan B. Anthony and view themselves in the same light. They are advocating as a way to solve these big issues. And they're going to start getting some traction. And I think this is really interesting. I'm about to introduce you to, I think, the most interesting character in this story. And it's in chapter 3, The Battle for Passage.
Ooh.
It's important to acknowledge first that there were a lot of different definitions for what Prohibition actually was.
Right.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
During this time, it gets a little militant, which is always my favorite part of history, when they're like, no. is their definition of prohibition. And the Dries They get a little creative with it. And important to remember too, the dries are usually women, not always, but that's a political arena women are allowed to step in because
Right.
they're ultimately advocating for women and children, and they're advocating against no good downtrodden men.
I mean, same. I've always said that.
You're always allowed to humiliate a downtrodden man in public. Never
Always.
forget it. And it's never once caused any problems or violence later ever.
Ever. No.
They always
because
respond
they
really well
have
to it.
really good egos that can handle negative criticism.
Just look at him and say, heal. See what happens.
My God. I don't think I could do that to you without getting like hit.
I would not hit you.
You literally have. You laughed so hard that I almost fell out of my chair when we watched Barbie.
I mean, yeah, out of joy. Sorry that my love is big for you, Mom.
I'm sure plenty of abusers have said I do it out of love.
Including some of these prohibitionists who would go into bars. Let's say you're a drunkard.
Yes.
Let's say.
I'm literally doing dry January. This is something else.
Please move your drink closer to you. And then give me one of your hands. Dear Lord, please help the sinner find the error in her ways. Please, we're at a bar. Please. Please help her put the drink down. She has a family and children at home who need her. They have children that need their father growing up. Dear Lord, please take his money, smite him down, cripple him. Let him know what could happen if he keeps drinking this way. Please, please, we ask that you help him see the light. Meanwhile, the bartender
I would smash the bottle
right.
on the counter.
Bartender's
Yeah.
literally like, you got to leave. And they're like, we're busy. Please help. And the thing is, too,
Donald Trump, Lord Donald Trump,
please come in. You found my chips. Thank you so much, Lord.
Donald Trump.
But they are also, and this is subversive, using their gender. What are you going to do? Commit a violence against a woman?
In public?
In public?
Yeah.
Like a drunkard? Are you going to hit a woman like a drunkard?
Yeah.
Are you not able to control your anger because you're so drunk you'd hit a woman because you're drunk?
Not
'Cause
because you're a
drunkard.
violent
Right.
person
They're
or
like
whatever.
covering their mouth.
Yeah.
If you weren't drunk, you wouldn't be angry right now. This is the alcohol talking to you.
He's like, my father just died.
She slips a finger in his mouth. You wouldn't be weirded out by this if you were sober.
Keep that to yourself.
She'd be cool if she was sober right now. She'd give me her mouth if she was sober right now.
Get your gross little fingers out of my face.
I want you to know, even in this new phase of my life, I have never said the phrase, give me your mouth.
Certainly not to a woman.
No. Certainly not to a woman.
He's gay.
Not to be a drunkard, but do you want to get a refill before we
do,
kind of
I
jump
really
into this?
do.
This feels like a really good place to teach you who Carrie
I need to get a
Nation
little bit
was.
more toasted.
A woman's actual name,
What?
Carrie Nation, and what she could do
For me.
with a hatchet. Stay with us.
A reading from Grant's phone.
Yeah, really, right?
Yeah. Read us your text messages.
Oh, that's what you want.
Yeah.
We have to save something for Patreon.
I was also not expecting you to actually read your messages.
You better watch out. This whole relationship thing's teaching me, I think it's pronounced boundaries.
Damn it. I was hoping you would never learn that.
Smart money is I still don't. Okay, so this movement starts to pick up some steam, and probably unsurprisingly picks up steam in rural states that are building their constitutions for the first time, right? So like the genocide moves west and it
Right.
destroys the communities that are already there.
Right.
And then colonizers, in this case now Americans, move in and from the like barren now land rebuild
Yeah.
a new society. And just like with slavery, it starts in Kansas. Yeah. In 1881, Kansas became the first state to outlaw alcoholic beverages in its
I
constitution.
knew I didn't like Kansas.
Yes. One of the leading advocates is a woman by the name of Carrie Nation, Carrie Nation, who is the funnest girl at the party.
Oh, God, I would avoid her at all costs. She looks like she's had a bad day and she's smelling a bad fart.
Her autobiography that she wrote herself is
Oh.
titled, I'm actually so proud of it, The Use and Need of the Life of Carrie A. Nation.
It is your birthday. Period.
The use and need of me, Carrie A Nation.
The use and need is just...
Yeah. Also, with a name like Carrie A Nation, it does feel like a Roger persona from American Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. That's...
Yeah.
I can imagine him in the little dress, too.
Yeah, absolutely you can. And this person's kind of gray. I mean, I know it's the photo at the time. Maybe that's why, but kind of gray. So they ban
The
alcohol.
photo is in black and white for those who don't have visuals.
Her skin's kind of gray. So Carrie A Nation is a big advocate of prohibition at the time. A person whose general political philosophy on alcohol was no. Here's what we have to know about Carrie. Arrested over 30 times.
Holy fuck.
Fined and jailed on multiple occasions, Carrie Nation attempted to enforce Kansas's ban on alcohol consumption. Like, tried to enforce it personally herself. She was going to take care of it.
Is she married to anyone?
Yeah.
Oh.
Gets mentioned kind of in the footnotes of her life, but yes, is married to a man. Maybe even had children.
Oh, my
that's,
God.
That's actually super important for the advocates of prohibition.
Right.
They need to be married women. They need to be women at the head of a household that involves a man, but also children. That is the political equation that allows them to advocate in public. Unmarried women telling a man what to do, I think the hell not. Mrs. Grant A. Thomas, she can have an opinion. Her husband has allowed her. I'm sure he's heard it before. Oh, that she wants us to stop drinking. Broads, am I right? Always trying to give us up the good time. All right, Mrs. Grant Thomas, if that's what you would like, I'll vote for you. Pat. This has been deeply patronizing for you.
Now we go to our separate bedrooms with our separate lovers.
George.
George.
The name of... I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
Carrie A Nation would walk into saloons scolding customers for drinking and would use a hatchet. For non-American listeners, that's a small, personalized axe. One that you can kind of wield with one hand. Better with two, though.
Yeah.
Would wield a hatchet and destroy bottles of liquor. Carrie Nation
Oh, my God.
recruited ladies into the group called the Carrie Nation Prohibition Group.
I like her less and less the more she keeps using her own name as titles for things. It sounds like someone else who's in a white office.
She was the president of the Carrie
Shut
Nation
the fuck
Prohibition
up.
Group.
Well, I wonder who elected her. Was that election rigged, do you think?
I don't know. I didn't really go into the workings of the Carrie Nation Prohibition Group.
I hope there was a time where Carrie Nation got voted out or replaced.
Every time you hear Carrie Nation, it does feel like there's a huge, massive fan following of...
Liza!
Liza Nation is here to defend Liza Minnelli's honor. You know, it's like chronically online.
Funded by Liza Minnelli.
Yeah,
yes.
and viewers like you. It's like chronically online 2017, like Will I Laugh Nation, rise up kind of stuff.
Well, I Nash League. Let's get it right, kids.
Or union. While Nation's vigilante techniques were rare, other activists tried to enforce the dry cause by entering saloons, singing, praying, and urging saloon keepers to stop selling alcohol. Other dry states, especially those in the South, enacted prohibition legislation, as did individual counties within other states. But this is now again where like this weird political coalition starts to emerge. So you have rural communities, you have middle-class women, you have some religious organizations. In the South, you have all-white legislatures banning the sale of alcohol, knowing fully well they are only banning it for, Maya, finish the sentence,
Enslaved people or previously enslaved people.
black people.
Yeah.
Yeah. White people will definitely absolutely still be able to get alcohol. Don't you? This is Kentucky. Don't you worry about this, sweetheart. We're going to be some alcohol. But the black Americans.
The physical bits, Grant, just were fucking incredible.
Did you like the little head pat?
Yeah, that was...
And it's like you're looking for your
You
car
know
keys.
exactly like what it is. Like it's the little handkerchief he keeps there to wipe the sweat.
And the way you can kind of gravel your back voice. I'm like, don't you worry, sweetheart. We're going to get you some alcohol. It's going to be that Kentucky blue glass. But the black Americans in this state,
Absolutely not.
they will not be allowed to drink because they're a danger, obviously. Meanwhile, I am just a proud member of a violent political group that murders people with
For fun.
abandon.
Yeah. While wearing a white hood.
Correct. But it's drunk black people who want to be left alone that we have to solve.
We really have to do something for that community.
Once we've gotten a handle on black people drinking, Mississippi will be great again.
Yeah, because that
That's the
was
issue.
the squeaky wheel.
Correct. It's actually kind of very interesting. Some of the history is like, and in the South, it's interesting. Like wealthy plantation ladies weren't huge advocates of like prohibition the way they were in the North and the Midwest. And it's like, yeah, their racist husbands were doing the work for them.
Yeah.
Like they didn't need to go out and march. The people that were being banned from drinking alcohol, that was already being done.
Yeah, there was already racism.
Yes. And so here's just a little bit about Carrie Nation before we get into like this big ban on this big push to ban it. In 1901, Carrie Nation established a shelter for the wives and children of alcoholics in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, the first thing she's done that I can really get behind.
This shelter would later be described as the earliest model today of a battered
I'm so scared.
woman
Okay,
shelter.
good.
She like basically helped create.
I thought you were
going to
say like psych ward or something like that.
And here's where she kind of gets funny again.
Yeah.
She also wrote in her autobiography a couple years later that she hated Freemasonry. And I cannot tell you why she did not like the Freemasons, but she didn't.
Why would you not like the Freemasons if you were her?
I don't actually.
I was like, I don't think
I think it's that it's an all boys club, but I don't know. There's a lot of all boys clubs.
That's true. That's true.
She also was concerned about tight clothing for women, and then I was like,
I was
"Okay,
too.
prude." And then she refused to wear a corset and urged women not to wear them because they were harmful to your vital organs. She described herself as a bulldog running along at the feet of Jesus, barking at what he doesn't like. She also claimed God demanded that she punish people who drink.
I love when they use the God told me. Oh, it's so beautiful.
My favorite thing is sneaking it there at the end.
Yeah,
when
it's
they're
like, and also in case none of that was enough, God did tell me to do this.
Worked really hard to help women in horrific situations, motivated mostly by her faith, held a weird grudge against Freemasons, did believe she was talking to God directly. What a woman, you know? And also, that's America. And if not America, it's at least Kansas and Missouri.
Yeah. Yep. One of those things for sure.
But the strange coalition of people came from all corners of the U.S., and often with their own reasons. In the South, prohibitionists were concerned over black people getting drunk. Up north, it was other ethnic groups, like Irish, Italians, or immigrants from Eastern Europe, who worked and lived in large working-class neighborhoods where public drunkenness happened because there was no private place.
Right.
In the Midwest, Lutherans, specifically farm Lutherans, like my own family,
Hell yeah.
shunned the stuff for more practical religious reasons and built their social calendars around church life and formed communities where public drunkenness was scandalous, in part because of how rare public life was.
Right.
In the up-and-coming cities of the Midwest, middle class, like St. Louis, Kansas City, Chicago, middle-class women who had recently started earning traditional educations at universities lectured on its corrosive effects on society and people's behaviors. All had their own reasons for coming to support prohibition. Few would agree with each other, and yet all worked together to end the sale of alcohol.
I mean, hey, they did the thing.
They did the thing, and it helps answer the question, one of the questions that I had at the start of this, which is, as a person who observes American politics, who wishes the more he learned, the more he could predict, and actually feels the exact opposite a lot of times. Part of me was wondering, like, why can't America ban guns? Why can't America tackle some of these things that feel so universally agreed upon not to like? And the idea of even doing one thing about it feels impossible. How is that feeling something that we have now, but 100 years ago? I mean, my grandma was born during the Great Depression, was born during Prohibition. She passed 2 years ago, but my grandma was born during Prohibition. You have grandparents alive today, 97, 98 years old, born during Prohibition. Alcohol was consumed. People were averaging almost 2 bottles a week. Yeah, you're not eating anything at that point. Like you're just drunk.
Drinking.
And we had the political power, the political will, the political courage to ban alcohol.
That is wild.
I couldn't imagine America banning vapes.
No.
You know what?
No.
Dear God, she wouldn't be having such a strong reaction right now. She wasn't all vaped out, God. She'd give Grant money and not ask what he's going to use it for if she wasn't all vaped out right now. God.
No. Pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
The bits that are emerging in this story.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, great.
Donald Trump, please take away the vape.
Donald Trump.
Please take it away from her.
He just ends up kidnapping another president. Sorry.
We have a museum of presidents under the White House.
Right. So, okay, you kind of get this like great big influx of a couple of different things happening at once.
Right.
For literally a litany of political reasons, the different regions of America and the power holders in those regions all agree prohibition's a good thing on a federal level. Racism, classism, misogyny, morality,
whatever reason they came.
legitimate concern.
Yeah.
They're all coming at it from different from different perspectives, but they're advocating for the same thing. So that's good. That's the first thing. The second thing that's good, there's a war. And that war is against Germany,
Right.
who has a crap ton of immigrants living in the United States and who are proud of their drinking culture. And obviously Germans are like drunks, but don't hold the same kind of reputation that like the Irish and the Italians do. They're just as drunk, just for the record. Like that's not like a Germans are better than Irish people. What kind of weird 1700s European racism is that nonsense? Especially in America.
I love that you're responding to this hypothetical like argument you've gotten against.
Cutting it all out, but they are, for better or worse, kind of held up on a higher shelf than a lot of these other immigrants with proud drinking cultures and hold a lot of political influence in all of these states, in all of these communities. And they have by and large used that influence to stop prohibition up until this point. But now that we're fighting a war against Germany, maybe
we
the
suddenly
Germans
don't respect you anymore.
Well, it's not even so much that we don't respect you anymore. The Germans are just going to kind of be quiet for a couple of years. The German-American Bund League, for example, is going to just maybe do a little less political advocacy. Or the political advocacy it is doing is just super in favor of whatever government is in charge to prove that they are not traitors to the country. And so the break that had been there is gone. So that's the second. So out in the States, the situation is weirdly correct. The traditional breaks on prohibition have to kind of step into the shadows. And the third thing that's so crucial here is that America is in one of our weird little constitutional reform eras.
Incredible.
Here's some actual stuff that I want you to think about on your car ride home. There are 27 amendments to the Constitution. The first 10 happen right away, and we call those the Bill of Rights. So we have 17 amendments that come afterwards. Almost all of them come within 10 years of another constitutional amendment. And then there's huge gaps of time in between.
Another one.
So they come in little bursts.
When was the last one?
80s, 90s, and it was on raising congressional salary pay. It's something super, it's like
uninteresting.
Yeah, well, okay. So the most latest constitutional amendment is that Congress can't vote to give itself a raise. Like it has to vote to give the next session of Congress a raise. And the American history story is that there was a history teacher who realized that this amendment had been passed by Congress decades ago.
Right.
And unlike almost every other constitutional amendment, they hadn't put an expiration date on it, which meant that it was active and the states could take it up at any moment. And then he made it a project to start advocating for it. And because it makes a lot of sense, it passed immediately. And it is also then kind of because of that, one of the only standalone constitutional amendments without a brother or sister within 10 years of it on either side.
Whoa.
I know. And I'm also like, why do I know that?
I was also wondering, why does he know that?
Okay, so here are the waves of these like little constitutional reforms. You get the 13th, 14th, and 15th within 5 years of each other.
Right.
Those have to do with enslavement and their recently gained freedom. You get the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th, 4 different constitutional amendments, including the 18th, which bans alcohol, and the 19th, which gives you the right to vote.
Hey!
Within 7 years of the first to last one. 16th and 19th, 7 years pass in between.
Okay.
You then have the 20th and 21st that happen within the same year, 1933.
Whoa.
And then you have the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, which happens within a 10-year period of time, 1961 to 1971.
Wow.
Focuses on civil rights legislation, voting rights legislation, and changes the draft age and the right to vote, things like that. So they happen in these crazy little bursts. And the situation's right, the traditional enemy's gone, and you're in the midst of a reform era. And the prohibition passes.
Whoa.
But what passes specifically? Section 1 is the active clause to the Constitution. And I have it in another little box for you.
A little box. Section 1. After 1 year from the ratification of this article, the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors within the importation thereof into or the exportation thereof from the United States and all territories subject to the jurisdiction thereof for beverage purposes is hereby prohibited. For beverage purposes?
What's so weird?
Yeah.
Because alcohol is still used to like clean things
Yeah.
and stuff. It's a disinfectant.
Right.
Maybe the only disinfectant we
It just
have in the
feels like a
1920s.
loophole.
Right. Well, because there is a loophole written in here.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to make it. You're not allowed to sell it. You're not allowed to transport it, which does not mean you're not allowed to have it.
Right. I think I wrote an essay on that for AP US History. Wow, that was like a memory
A little,
pulled from the dark.
That
Holy
was
shit.
so Raven of you.
Yeah.
Okay, second to last chapter. What a great time to break the law.
I say that all the time.
As early as 1925, journalist M.L. Mentken believed that prohibition was not working. Mainly, and there's a historian here, mainly because it was only punishing poor people. Stop me if that sounds familiar.
I don't understand why.
Yeah, working class people are furious because they have to break the law to go get alcohol because they have to buy it. They literally have to buy it. Meanwhile, the wealthy people stocked up in the entire year they had before Prohibition.
Oh, to be wealthy.
They stocked up so much that Woodrow Wilson moved his alcohol collection out of the White House.
Yes.
And Harding moved his in.
It's beautiful.
They have so much. They bought out whole warehouses full of the stuff.
Wow.
Like, the wealthy have alcohol in America. Like the wealthy today have Cuban cigars. Like it's like, hey, do you want to have some wine? Oh my God, do you have some? Duh, bitch. Look at my house. Let me get a servant to pour you some. Like
Grant and I would run the most incredible house during this time.
we would.
We would have such cool parties.
Well, I snore, so that's why my room's on the totally opposite side of the house than hers.
Yeah, I can't sleep with that, which is, I mean, we would end up in that situation
It's
regardless.
still me waking up, though, opening up the curtains in your room where you've been sleeping alone, and I go, bitch, you live like this?
It's raining.
I've already kicked my lover out. Let's go.
Yeah. Don't leave him.
You're leave him. Sorry. Okay, we're back. We're back. Also, like, America really likes alcohol, and that's a huge issue because the ingredients are grown in every country, of every county, every city, and the way to make it isn't a secret.
It's not hard.
Humans first did it on accident, you know? A desperate human was like, well, there's been a little bit of water in this barley, but I'm very thirsty. Well, I like the warm feeling my head has now.
Let's do this on a mass scale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Within weeks, you could buy home distillery kits, which wasn't illegal.
I love that so much.
And in many ways, making it at home didn't meet the legal definition of manufacturing.
Right.
As long as you didn't transport it and sell it, right? So
Yeah.
all those moonshiners were not necessarily getting in trouble for being drunk at their home. Again, a rural tenant. Just be drunk at home.
Yeah.
We have never forgivable moments available for us at home.
Yeah.
It was the selling it to all of their neighbors part that was
That's
the
the
issue
problem.
that they were then trying to track down. Why, if you'd rather, do you want some? Because if you want to drink it, just rather you do it in the house. It's Amy Poehler's character
Yes.
in Mean Girls as a constitutional fucking amendment.
All you fucking heathens, do your embarrassment behind your doors.
Yes, there are days that I miss teaching history to high schoolers. I think I had a real knack for it a lot of
I
times.
also do because I feel like I'm being educated. I'm sorry, Katie.
Because these are facts, so I am glad you are being educated. Before the 18th Amendment went into effect in January of 1920, upper class families bought out everything. They were buying out alcohol at the saloons. They were like, oh, take that one and that one and that one.
Yeah.
George. My servant's here to carry it. That one and that one. They were rich. It's important that you remember they were rich. And so they were like, everything. That's great.
Yeah, take it from, yeah.
Also, here's something that's super funny. Again, America today is not the America back then. Grape juice is not illegal to buy. And the grape juice doesn't have like preservatives and is being stored in like glass containers.
Yeah.
And if you just left it
I'll
alone,
just leave it in this jar.
yeah, for 60 days, it would turn into wine with a 12.2% alcohol content.
Jesus.
Like legitimate wine, not like this is Coors Light. Like that's wine, babes.
That's beautiful. So here's a question. If you get grape juice that's made in France, and you know how like champagne has to come from the Champagne region of France, could you technically make champagne here with grapes from Champagne? You know,
I think
that's what I'm asking.
the vintners of France would be deeply offended.
Okay, yeah,
but
that's
they're
fair.
French, so yeah, probably.
They're always a little offended.
Yeah, that's what makes them kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Making alcohol at home was common among a lot of families with, quote, wet sympathies because it was a wet versus dry debate.
Yeah.
Also, like, so easy to buy the ingredients everywhere. A lot of grocery stores sold grape concentrate with a huge label on it being like, don't do these steps. It will turn into alcohol.
That's just so
people would be like,
beautiful.
like just shoving them into carts. Also, like, alcohol is such a great human invention because it's oftentimes just like water and a starch, you know?
It is really easy.
Yeah, you can make it out of potatoes or corn or wheat. And that's vodka, whiskey, vodka, for those of you wondering. You can make it kind of out of anything.
Yeah.
And then you just need some water and like the ability to distill and ferment.
That's
so Prohibition was never going to work.
Americans were too smart.
Right. But it's also important that we think about what that question is actually asking. When we say Prohibition was never going to work, what is the metric we are using to judge if it's working or not?
Oh.
American drinking habits do change as a result.
Yeah.
Actually, drinking kind of becomes a bit more festive because it's like against the law now.
The Great
right?
Gatsby, I believe.
Yeah. And while obviously alcoholism continues to exist afterwards, it as a remedy every single day to your life's problems and despairs, less so. Also, what's going to really help is the Great Depression. No one's going to have any kind of money for that kind of stuff. So America changes very quickly during this time, but people will know how to make it and they know they want it and they're going to go off and they're going to go drink it. Oh, this is fun. I love this. People sold medical wine, which was 22% alcohol content.
Holy sh!
Could not find what medical wine was supposed to cure, but they did have to like spice it so that way it tasted a bit more like medicine. Yeah, which I heard goes really well with Sprite. It's a way to be clean.
This is it's just like having medicinal marijuana.
Yes.
It's so
But
funny to me.
Somehow like even easier to get.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time, but I still think it's really funny. Not all the time, but like I feel like people know this. Once you got good at making alcohol, you wanted to sell it to a bunch of people because people wanted to drink it because alcoholism like is a disease that's like hard to beat, especially if you don't have medication. And like almost every single American adult and like most 12-year-olds knew what alcohol tasted like and enjoyed its experiences because the horrors continued to persist.
They also probably can't afford to go through relapses.
Right. Right. And so...
Or not relapses. What am I thinking of? When you come off of something.
Like withdrawals.
Withdrawals.
Yeah. And so you have moonshiners making it and then bootleggers chasing it down from where it was trying to escape law enforcement to their distribution points. And bootlegging is complicated, right? There's bootleggers that use speedboats and you get some of America's first speedboats specifically so they can get in and out of beaches. You do have a car culture in America develop around these cars because you're messing with the suspension, you're messing with the engine. That is the direct forefather to NASCAR.
You ever...
Sorry. I knew you were just kind of waiting for me to tire myself out, but it's like you're not ready. Which is also why in America, NASCAR has this reputation of being like kind of quote unquote like kind of trashy, like white trash.
Have you been so desperate you invent NASCAR?
No, but for real, like, I'm not joking. NASCAR is invented because even after they no longer needed to run away and break the law, they were like, I was kind of doing it for the thrill.
These are pretty cool. I was actually sober.
Hey,
I don't know about you.
A couple months ago, you prayed for me at the bar. And I opened my eyes. You said, God, he would not be driving that fast if he wasn't a drunkard. And
I took that personally.
You're wrong. I've been doing it sober and I fucking love it.
Thank you for that. So beautiful.
Thank you for that. And now we go to places called Daytona. Meanwhile, 30 years later, a couple of princes in Monaco are going to be like, I have a fast car. And that's Formula One. I could not have explained the origin of those two sports any more differently. Shout out Lando Norris. I know it upsets you guys when I say it.
Yeah.
So we get NASCAR, we get moonshine, we get a bunch of Americans dying because they get poisoned by alcohol. Sometimes they got poisoned by alcohol because the federal government made manufacturers of some of the ingredients that would become alcohol to add deadly poisons to their supplies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you want to make medical grade alcohol cleaner that could potentially be used to make alcohol, that's fine. You just need to add a super deadly poison. By some estimates, more than 10,000 Americans died because the federal government demanded they be poisoned for the ingredients that was then used to make their illegal alcohol. You're not ready for this.
Well, I haven't been ready for most of this.
This is also a huge relief, Prohibition, for Bacardi rum and Pan Am Airlines.
Why?
So Bacardi is a rum company at the time based in Cuba, a place very close to America, but that's not America. Again, because of racism. Like, I'm so sorry, but like, remember when I told you about the history of Cuba and why it's not a U.S. state? I was a little whiskey drunk, LOL. I would still be talking about history even if I was sober.
I love it. It's all because you prayed for me.
I love it. And I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for you. Bacardi's like, oh shit, we were about to build a bottling plant in New York City and now it's illegal. So instead, they run a huge ad campaign with Pan Am Airlines saying, fly with us to Havana. And Pan Am is like, we would love to fly. In the 1920s, people to Cuba. They flew from mostly Florida, but also Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Good, I'm glad they made it more accessible. Of all the other cities to pick.
Well, those cities are rich in steel, which is what money was at the time. And this is important too.
Beautiful.
Because we're about to talk about Havana for a second. The people flying to Havana, they're not us. If you're listening,
they're not like us.
If you listen and enjoy this podcast, you are not in the tax bracket that would have been flying Cleveland to Havana. I need you to know that. These people are leaving the country to get drunk. You are getting fries on the way home to get you through the horrors. We are not the same.
I don't like when I don't like a category you've put me in and then you clock me so hard. I didn't like that.
Your treat is sushi at the grocery store that you can eat while cooking your meal at home. Yeah. They lived in Cleveland.
Shout out Ohio.
And I love it.
We love it.
Sober even. I love it. I mean, obviously, I'm rich in Cleveland. I'm not sober. We have wine and servants. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Smokey would eventually live there.
Who? The dog. Right.
This is my impression of Grant as an owl.
Who? The dog.
The dog.
Okay, so you have all these wealthy Americans who are coming down to Havana. Out of work American bartenders are then going down there with them and learning the cocktails to work in these bars. And when Prohibition ends, they will bring back to America for the first time the daiquiri and the mojito.
What?
Your favorite drink to torture a Chili's waitress with came because of Prohibition.
Which one?
Exactly. I mean, it's definitely the mojito.
Yeah, okay.
Have you ever wanted a mojito so bad that you go to the bar and you're relieved that there's no one there because the bartender now has the 4 minutes they're going to need to muddle up enough spearmint to make you your fruity little drink queer? Sorry. No, we can't say that on air. He almost opted for a harder word. And I was like, I'm going to legitimately get beeped. I'm gay. Sorry. And I love it. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't gotten sober. So thank you.
Dude, this is...
This is Nation. And your hatchet.
The Maya Warner Association, led by Maya Warner, funded by
Vice
Maya
President
Warner.
Grant Thomas.
Executive Assistant Maya Warner, because she doesn't trust Grant.
Secretary. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as we are, because it's a topic you thought, girl, you thought you knew. And like, sure, but no.
No alcohol was and Michael Malloy died, or was the extent.
So all these bars
Yeah.
pop up. And this is a cartoon from the LA Art Museum about, this is the Sloppy Joe Bar in Havana. And I'm just going to zoom in.
So fun.
Imagine wearing furs in Cuba. Right. It's not you. I've said that many times. Sure, that Patagonia puffer is great. It's not the same tax bracket. It's not the same. Okay? So we get the mojito, we get the daiquiri, we get a taste for these tropical drinks.
Did we not have cocktails in in America before this?
We do.
Okay.
But they're going to be what you would view today as like old, right? Like it's like an old fashioned.
Okay,
or like
yeah.
maybe like a gin fizz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like maybe it's like maybe you're just having like whiskey over rocks, right? Or you're having it with like a little bit of club soda, right? Like a lot of American
It's
drinking.
what Grant and I drink.
Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of American drinking culture comes from Europe. And those European drinking cultures had been set for a really long time, which meant ingredients like sugar or citrus
were not really used there.
Certainly not common. Not unheard of probably, but certainly not common.
Right.
Right. But meanwhile, in the Caribbean, where citrus and sugar grow on industrial scales, it's way more common.
Right.
And so, quote unquote, fruity little drinks get introduced to America kind of in part thanks to Prohibition.
Fruity little drink, Grant's drag name.
Yeah. Thank you. Brandy. But also, Canada will go through weird periods of prohibition, but Mexico won't. And so you also have a love for, if you're in Texas or Arizona or California, it's not hard to pop down there either. In fact, it's not a coincidence that Tijuana exists. And now we joke that it's whatever. But at the time, you could go get tequila mixed with citrus and a little bit of sugar that is grown in a tropical environment and fall in love with margaritas.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have.
Yes.
And then finally, the funny thing about Prohibition is that it also creates a massive investment market for organized crime. Just so massive.
Frank Sinatra.
It's almost like the federal government wanted to make organized crime.
Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover is manufacturing this whole crisis behind his desk.
Oh, so you have to have someone willing to break the law to provide a substance that everyone likes and that everyone knows how to make and whose ingredients grow outside my window. Organized crime expands as a result. It doesn't get merged, it expands. Organized crime, to a degree, already existed because life was hard for a lot of Americans. And xenophobia meant that there was plenty of marginalized people with tight-knit communities being denied economic opportunity who would be happy to flout the law of a country that had not fully accepted them. So
say louder for the people in the back.
But you know what I mean? There's obviously organized crime before Prohibition starts. We just didn't give it a huge investment market.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked about this during your Stonewall episode, that organized crime actually really benefited from Prohibition because they already were doing crime. So why not do some more profitable crime?
Correct. You just expanded the market of people that they want to advertise to. And then it's actually, I think, kind of so funny. Americans kind of love Prohibition and love it because it was a total and complete failure. Like, we love cocktails because
True.
people had to leave the country to get good and properly sauced, or if at least Cleveland.
Sauced.
We
At least Cleveland.
we love kind of mobsters and know so much about Al Capone, who
Right.
like Al Capone's kind of like the Titanic, where like in terms of its impact on America, it doesn't actually really make that much sense for us to know so much about
It's
them.
true.
But we do, because he was the gangster in the city during the era of Prohibition. So we love the daiquiris and the mojitos.
Yeah.
We all know way too much about Al Capone.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, we love speakeasies, which is so funny because you can find them on Google Maps. And so like the things that Americans like about Prohibition today, the like edginess, like the bad boyness of it all, the fruitiness of it all, right? Because that's the thing too. Then back in America, sugary sodas and drinks are being used to cover the fact that some of this alcohol doesn't taste great because it was made literally in a bathtub. So you're going to start getting other cocktails too in America, like, I don't know, like a Long Island iced tea, which is a shit ton of alcohol followed by a shit ton of citrus to get you properly sauced in one drink, because who knows when you got to run.
You weren't drunk on them, you would know that that's a bad decision.
Exactly. It was probably just the right amount of alcohol to get you as drunk as you wanted that night without actually poisoning you.
I think that every time I have a Long Island iced tea.
Right. No, exactly. And so the things that we like about Prohibition today, that edge, that bad boyness, people loved back then. They loved that, except no, they didn't. But it was like, but like, no.
It's like interesting and fun, but I wish I could do it in the open.
Yeah. And in many ways, it became a parody of itself and was no longer fulfilling the purpose it was supposed to. And it was time for it to go. And that gets us to our final section. Fill my cup. Prohibition ends.
Oh.
I actually wrote fill up my cup, but I was like, I've said it wrong. Fill up my cup. Prohibition ends. Really glad you liked that so much.
I love when Grant realizes the error of his ways.
Great, because I don't.
We know.
All right. I want to tell you about how Prohibition ends. The fact that we're drinking on this episode means that it's not a surprise that Prohibition ends. But I do want to talk to you about how surprising it is that we ended Prohibition.
The dog dies at the end?
Kind of famously. The 18th Amendment banning alcohol lasted only 13 years. Children born the year it went into effect got the chance to experience the joys of underage drinking in high school. To help you kind of contextualize
that was a joke for legal reasons.
And now, obvious reasons, a joke. But also, man, does that really kind of put it into context?
That's,
Yeah. Many of the original advocates of Prohibition were still alive to see it repealed. In fact, more than a few politicians who had originally voted for it would then go on to vote against it to
Did
help
Mitch
repeal
McConnell
it.
do both?
I think so. Yeah. It was his first two big pieces of legislation. The consumption of alcohol was maybe even more prevalent in American life 100 years ago than it is now. Drinking laws and social views were different enough that people started drinking at younger ages than they do today. There were some large American companies that for 13 years had to tread water. Things like Kentucky Whiskey or the American Budweiser beer brand were all iconic American brands. Whole businesses were forced to close. The moral battle had been won. The morality police had demanded that American society change and had good reasons to justify their actions. Think of the children. Think of the women. Think of your own personal health.
Yeah.
None of that really mattered. Because at the end of the day, Americans still wanted it. And it made money.
Yeah.
And those are two very powerful forces in this country.
Money and politics.
Right. And I'm going to pause again for a second for like a little hope core. We're seeing a lot of forced attempted social engineering right now from our federal government to lurch this country to being more conservative. And it's going to suck. And there will be absolutely ramifications for this assault on like an evolved American social perspective. But it should not be lost on you that at the time when our federal government attempted to destroy gay marriage, the most popular show in the world right now is two gay hockey players. Like, the thing about American social mores, again, for better or worse, I'm looking at you, racism, we will not be told how to feel. We have to get there on our own. And the whole issue about prohibition is maybe you convinced enough lawmakers to make it happen in a time without universal voting.
Yeah.
You didn't convince Americans that it was bad.
Yeah.
Even though there was probably a pretty good case that it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't going to stick.
Yeah.
And then there was a moneyed interest behind it.
Yeah.
A money interest at the time that corrupted it, and then a moneyed interest towards the end to help repeal it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two very powerful forces in America, and you're going to lose as a result. If anything, the end of prohibition should be a wonderful sigh of relief for us progressive social holders in America. They can literally constitutionally ban us. It's not going back.
Yeah.
The government cannot dictate to you how you feel about other people. Again, for better or worse. You have to make the decision yourself to not be a giant fucking asshole. And
if you're just listening to whatever people tell you or you read on Facebook or any of that, you are part of the problem.
Right. Exactly. So, in February of 1933, Congress put the 21st Amendment to repeal the 18th Amendment up to the states. So Congress has to kind of like initially be like, we think this is good.
Yeah.
And then 2/3, 3/5 of the states have to be like, we agree, we should pass this. At the time in 1933, that number was 36 states were needed.
Okay.
It was suggested to the states in February 1933 and passed by the 36th state December of that year. It took 9-10 months to get it from offered by Congress to fully in the books.
Is that
and prohibition
fast or
ends.
no?
Lightning fast.
Okay, I was going to say.
Sometimes more modern constitutional law battles take years to try to fight through everybody. It passed 36 state legislatures essentially in their first session.
Oh, wow.
Very, very fast.
Okay, yeah.
Even like green energy tax initiatives, kind of famously uncontroversial because it helps American manufacturing and energy independence, could take 2.5 years to kind of get through the American system. The combination was due to a couple of factors. The Great Depression had created an immense need for new tax revenue for the government, and taxes on alcohol was an obvious, easy, popular choice. It was also clear that prohibition was fueling crime and being largely skirted by the wealthy, the powerful, and the average everyday citizen, with varying degrees of consequences. As one bootlegger shared, having worked in Washington, D.C. long enough, he guessed about 80% of all members of Congress bought his alcohol directly from him during their time.
I love that. It's like Grindr shutting down when there's an RNC.
Yes, that's exactly
they're just telling
it.
on themselves.
The ending gets buried under other headlines, but the final nail in the coffin was the election of 1932, which saw President Franklin Delano Roosevelt elected for the first time. The Democrats will also win huge majorities in the House and the Senate, creating essentially one-party control. The election represents a major sea change in American politics, something we've covered about before in the episode Party People. And while the legacy that we know today from that period is doesn't really include the end of Prohibition, I mean, FDR will see us through the Depression and World War II. He'll create nuclear weapons and Social Security. Like he has so many things to his legacy.
That ending Prohibition is not.
Right. But for almost any other president, ending Prohibition would make him the party president, would make him the good time president. And so it's so funny that like Prohibition basically is the end of Prohibition is the opening chapter of perhaps the most important president in American history. And it's just lost under everything else, which I think also then robs us of our memory of how recent Prohibition really was.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Prohibition ends and women basically still can't vote. Like, they kind of can. They've had it for like 10 years, but like, there's no women.
I mean, if you had asked me which amendment came first, I would have thought women voting would have come before Prohibition.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's also, the 18th and 21st are so perfectly numbered because 18th bans it and 21, the age you have to be to start drinking, ends Prohibition. Yeah. Passage of the 21st Amendment, this is the last chapter, this is the last paragraph, and has a really fun fact in it. Passage of the 21st Amendment would be the highlight of most presidents' careers. For FDR, it is more of a footnote, the opening chapter of a presidency that would again reshape American life. In 1933, it took 36 states to ratify a new amendment. Colorado was the 24th state to do so.
Hell yeah.
The state whose ratification finally made it official, the state whose vote ended Prohibition, was Utah.
Utah is the closest state to having Prohibition right now. That's wild. I would have never.
What a fun little note to end on.
I would have never guessed that. You go to Utah and they're like, ooh, we can try.
Yeah.
We can try and get you something.
For a long time, it actually might still be the case. Utah bartenders aren't allowed to make the drink in front of you. There's like little, at least if you are sitting in a restaurant, you cannot be able to visually see what is happening at the bar.
I just love that they're not allowed to serve you double drinks.
Right.
Or like doubles. Because I ordered one at the bar and I had to just like finish a full drink before she could like even pass me the second one.
So I just think it's so funny that
you also
Utah's
can't buy
vote,
alcohol like after a certain time on Sunday.
And in a lot
like
of places, you have to buy it directly from the state of Utah itself.
Wild.
It's funny. The last two little tidbits are not as fun, so not as big of a buildup. But the first one is the state of Michigan was the very first one to pass the 21st Amendment. That might have been more to do with like when its legislature was scheduled to go into session and less about eagerness.
Yeah.
And the day after Utah ratified the 21st Amendment, Maine and a second state also ratified it. And so you got the 36th, 37th, and 38th pretty quickly.
Close. Okay.
Which might have also been at least part of Utah's calculation. We might as well ratify it. It's going to pass anyways.
It's going to pass anyway.
But Utah ratifies it, and like legitimately about 15 minutes later, the Secretary of State's like, it's done.
They were waiting.
Yes. No, literally, I think like literally by the wire. Like waiting
when
for
a
results to
YouTuber
come
is like
in.
waiting for the millionth follower.
Correct. And that's the funny little story of man's best friend.
I love that.
Story of when the government tried to hold my beer, and America said, fine, I'll fly Cleveland to Cuba.
I fly to Cuba. I have to get to Cleveland first because
right.
they don't fly from New York for some reason.
New York to Cleveland, Cleveland to Havana probably was the route for a lot of people. Yeah. It's how we got NASCAR. It's how we got mojitos and daiquiris.
Yeah.
It's funny to think that it was for most of its history in the same conversation as women's right to vote and the end of slavery. Because today's Super Bowl will be brought to you by DraftKings, but then secondly, it'll be brought to you by Budweiser.
And Bad Bunny.
Right, exactly.
Who's Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was...
I don't think he says it that way, but yes, he's Puerto Rican.
I was like, I know it's either Puerto Rico or Cuba.
Final thoughts, final reactions, final gabs or goops.
I love that. I think, and I'm not going to Google this, so if I'm wrong, I mean, you can correct me if you want. Did you ever look into why cocktails are called cocktails?
No.
So cocktails, when I think it's like polo horses, they would like wrap the tail up or something like that, and they would call that a cocktail, I believe. And then the reason it's like supposed to mean that it's cocked, it's like different than it.
I need you to stop saying some of these words. He'd be fine with this if he wasn't such a drunkard. Yeah. But I still need you to
Donald
stop.
Trump, Lord Donald Trump, please take this drink away from this man. He would think I'm funny and interesting if he wasn't so drunk. I need to look up the exact verbiage. I know I just said I wasn't going to Google it.
He'd be fine with my fingers in his mouth if he wasn't such a drunkard, Lord. Please.
Fingers in the mouth was truly diabolical.
I think it was in that moment I was like, hey, let's go get a sucker around.
Yeah. This is fun. Okay, a cocktail referring to mixed blood horses. Jesus Christ.
Okay, mud blood.
It is talking about something that's like not quite right, I think, is the connotation. And so a cocktail is a drink that's not quite right because you've added alcohol to it.
Ah, that makes sense to me.
Grant's like, I don't know about you. I've never drank tonic water by itself.
Legitimately. A flight attendant once asked, I was like, can I get a whiskey Coke? She goes, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Like, your credit card's not loaded into the system, but we can still get you a Coke. That's okay. And I go, oh, no, I don't want the sugar if I don't have alcohol in it. And she thought it was so funny. She brought me a secret whiskey Coke.
That's in kind. I think you have told me that.
I've told you, yeah. Also, strongest goddamn whiskey Coke of my entire life because it's an entire shooter of whiskey plus just enough Coke to let you know it was supposed to have Coke in it.
Yeah, those cups are not large.
No. Well, Like 2 21st Amendments. I don't know what was
We're
going to go.
out of here.
Sorry, like 2 18th Amendments. We're useless.
Put it on a shirt.
Like 2 18th Amendments. We can't manufacture alcohol, but we can store it.
We sure can consume it.
This is a fun vocal stem for me.
Yeah.
Not a great probably end for them. So
Probably not. Yeah.
join us on social media
Oh, yeah.
and go check out our new branding. Maya's worked really hard on it. I liked the messages that she sent me, letting her know I was reading it and also teaching. But
And shout out to I think it's Anna M Illustrations who did the little graphic on the logo.
So thank you. Check us out on social media and give us a little like there. If you would like additional content, find us on Patreon, where we share even crazier stories and
Hell yeah.
don't even try to educate you.
Not even a little bit.
The next episode, the next theme is Liar Liar. So send in some listener stories if you have it.
I'm
And
so excited for my story.
the one after that is...
I just thought of my story. Or
So just send
yeah.
the most embarrassing thing that you've ever had happen to you, and
Yeah.
we'll probably read it.
Honestly, that is a good bet to get your story read
And with Valentine's Day this week coming up soon.
this week.
Is it? No.
No. What?
Well, when does this come out?
Oh, this will be the first week of February. So you're a week off.
Okay. With Valentine's Day next weekend, find us on Cameo.
That implied we're going to take off our clothing. We're not going to do that. Grant's like, I will. For
Well,
the right
until
price.
next time.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye. I'm
Speaking
Grant.
of which, we have.
That's Maya. And we're laughing.
Why did you say it like that?
A for this response. B, because we introduced ourselves at the start of the episode, so I just kind of figured like a little parallel thing. Now, to say it that way wasn't
You like leaned into the mic as I'm reaching to stop the recording. Like you really need to squeeze it in. And I'm Grant.
And that's Maya.
Me at the end of every meeting when I haven't said anything or contributed anything.
Sounds good. Thanks, team.
Thanks, team. Okay, goodbye for real. That's Grant.
Goodbye.